Hello, very warm welcome. This is Care Tech channel, and today we will discuss last class we discussed like web page 0 to hero series, and today we will discuss like a .NET Core 0 to hero series. In this series, we have a 7 days of plan I created with my personal experience, and with this 7 days of plan we can completely uh, refrain our .NET Core knowledge, and we need to prepare interview questions for that. So I think I covered all of the topics. If any topic I missed in that particular topic wise, so I will cover with the topics also in that session, or otherwise I will create a separate video for that. So let's get into the video. This is a .NET Core 0 to hero series. What is .NET Core? First, we need to discuss what is .NET and what is C Sharp. C Sharp is a language, and .NET is a framework. With the using of C Sharp language, we will implement .NET applications. With the use of C Sharp or VB.NET or F Sharp, we will implement our .NET applications. We can implement we can, with the use of .NET framework or .NET Core, we can implement like mobile application, desktop application, web applications, or native IoT application. We can implement these all things with the using of any technologies, like that is a C Sharp or VB.NET or F Sharp or these languages. And .NET, what is the main difference between a .NET framework and .NET Core? .NET framework is a with the using of .NET framework, we can implement applications, we can implement like web application, mobile application, or desktop application, or Windows application in Windows server only. It won't. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Uh, like .NET framework is we can deploy .NET framework applications in only Windows server, but .NET Core is a cross-platform. We can deploy .NET Core application in any OS like Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. This is the main difference between .NET and .NET framework. .NET framework has a limited supported, like we need to they should not support cloud platform structure, even the performance also for .NET Core is faster than .NET framework. And another big difference, so .NET .NET framework. .NET is open source and class platform, and .NET Core is .NET is unified. .NET framework is not a uniform, and the .NET framework does not support microservices and cloud application. .NET is supported microservices and cloud application. These are the main difference between .NET and .NET framework. Yeah. And going into the our first part, like day one first part, .NET framework versus .NET Core, .NET 5, 6, 7, 8. .NET framework up to 4.5 .NET 4.8 .NET framework has there. After 4.8, .NET 6 has .NET 5 has introduced. In the .NET 5, like startup.cs and program.cs classes are there, and it is supports like multiple NuGet packages, and it supports like cloud hosting application. And after that, .NET 6 has introduced in the year of one second, .NET Core. One second. Yeah, .NET uh, 5.0 is like introduced November 2020, and .NET 6.0 is introduced in November 2021, and .NET 7.0 is introduced 2022. And now currently we are LTI support have .NET 20 .NET 8.0. It is introduced in 2023, and in .NET Core it is supports C Sharp, WPF, Windows Forms, HTTP, and HTTPS. In long-term support of .NET Core, it supports like HTTP and ORM tools, and NuGet packages and middlewares, uh, zip compiler, and anti-malware scanning. These all things are supported in .NET Core. And coming about in .NET, like basics topics. Basics means like basic and important topics are CLR, like how the memory management is happening in like .NET, and how the garbage collector will work, and what is the JIT compilation, and how JIT compilation will work. This is a main like a important question of any interview. Like without this question, the interview won't end this interview session, because these are the basics. These are the fillers of C sharp or .NET language. So without you don't know these things, like even if you are pro in .NET Core, like in interview perspective, the person or in, like as a team lead, as anyone else, like he's asked in the middle of how the CLR will works. If you cannot answer this question, like it is not good for yourself and not good for in their perspective. So like maybe if you are a like very pro and advanced developer, like within independently you can create one big application, but without these questions, like these concept, if you don't know, uh, that is not a like it's embarrassed for yourself in front of others. So that's the reason we should know, like this fundamentals of C sharp, like CLR means common language runtime. What it stands for? Common language runtime. It is like memory. It handles the memory management. Like if we are going with this diagram, like this is a CLI diagram. See here, like we have a different F sharp, C sharp, and VB.NET source code is there. Like if you are implementing any logic or anything, like suppose like uh, print C sharp code or VB.NET code or F sharp code in our source code. It come like each for C sharp compiler will there, and VB.NET compiler is there, and the F sharp compiler will there. Like when we are creating any object in our C sharp code, automatically CLR will allocate the memory to that object. So after that, like it will compiler, the compiler will use and compile that code, and it will create like intermediate language code like IL code. We cannot read this IL code without using any third party tool. Like it converted a IL intermediate language code. After that intermediate language code, like CLR will CLR will start the execution. Like in the CLR we have a JIT compiler is there, and JIT compiler is used to convert the intermediate language code to machine language, like a machine understandable language code, like native machine code. Like it will convert intermediate language code into native code, and after that native code it converts, like in the native code files will execute like .exe or .dll files, like it is, these are the assemblies in C sharp. exe means executable file, and dll means dynamic uh, link library. Once again I will also recall this thing. exe is DLL is the library of tools, and DLL stands for Dynamic Link Library. DLR helps to make to progress run faster and take less disk space. Like DLL is used for, like it runs faster and used less disk space. Its exe files are executable files. It contain binary machine code. CPU how the running, like we can use the DLLs like outside of the application also, but we will use with the exe we can use in the application only. That is the main difference between DLL and exe. Now we are understand like what is a CLR, right? Like if you are declaring any object in our C sharp code, it will allocate memory with the using of CLR. CLR will allocating the memory, like and after the once like CLR, each and every languages have some compiler is there. First it will compile whether the code is correct or not in this, like in design time only. After that, once compilation is done, it is converted to intermediate language code. After that, CLR will start. CLR is the heart of C sharp. It converts in the CLR, like zip compiler is there. Zip compiler is used to convert intermediate language code into native code. Uh, After that, it will convert like exe files, like code executable files, uh, exe and dll, and in CLS have some CTS and CLS. This concept also there in CLR. Like CTS is common type system, and CLS is common language specification. CLS stands for like common language specification. Like each and every language have some rules, some set of rules, and uh, some set of rules as there. We need to follow that rules. That will handle CLS. And CTS means like each every language like C sharp and VB.NET or F sharp language have some common types are there, like long or double. This data types are there. int, string. These data types are, this all will manage CLS. That is a main thing of CLR and CS and CTS, CLS and CTS. And JIT compilation, like it will convert intermediate code into our machine understandable code. Like intermediate code means, like after once we compiled our project in we compiled our code, C# code or F# code into intermediate language. Means intermediate language code, there is have some binary codes, like not a binary codes, it will convert it to like another format of code. So that is CLR and JIT compilation. And garbage collection, the very important concept in C# is C# and .NET, garbage collection. GC means garbage collector. Garbage collection, garbage collection is like when we are creating any objects into our programming language, CLR will allocate the memory. So like if you want to release that allocating memory, when we are not using that object, that is called as a garbage collector. Suppose I created as a object 1, like object 1 and object 2 and object 3, but I am not, my object 1 use as ended and object 2 use as ended. I am currently my logic is working with the object 3, so that object 1 and object 2 is still is there in the memory, so but we are not using. So the GC is like processing, like automatically processing, like unused memory, like it will release the unused memory, unused allocated memory. So that is the main use of garbage collector. Yeah, this is a garbage collector. How we will work garbage collector? We will understand with the using of this diagram. This is my application. I created as a object 3 objects, like object 1 and object 2 and object 3. And my object 1 and my object 2 use is I am not using object 1 and object 2, so that will goes to the garbage collector automatically. It's goes to the garbage collector, and in the garbage collector we have a 3 generations is there, like gen 0, gen 1, generation 0, generation 1, generation 2. In generation 0, destroy unused object, like it will destroy the unused object, and it will move to the generation 1, like destroyed unused objects, and move into other objects to gen 2. Like in this, like destroy the unused objects, after this it will destroy the unused objects to move other objects to gen 2. It means like in gen 2, like which are available object, which are currently we are using, that objects will there in that generation 2 garbage collector versions. That means all the unused objects will come will destroy in the generation 0, and it will move to the generation 1. Once after moves to the generation 1, like if like it will destroy, like it will move to the object to generation 2. That is whole structure of garbage collector. Like in this one of important interview question is there: can we automatically force to the garbage collector? The answer is no, but we can forcefully called as a garbage collector with the using of gc.collect in C# programming. We can call, but it is not a right thing, because anyway .NET compiler is automatically calling the garbage collector, after the method execution. Yeah, this is a garbage collector, and next we are going to the assemblies. Assemblies are DLL, EXE, and metadata, and manifesty, and GAC, and reflection. Reflection. These are the assemblies in .NET Core. DLL stands for Dynamic Link Library. In this command, like DLL assembly, whether it is exe or DLL, encapsulate code. Like the code is encapsulating. It means like wrapping the code into pieces. So that is called as exe and DLL. These two libraries DLL we can use outside of the uh, inside of the project anywhere, but exe use outside of the project also. If you are building an exe file, we can use outside for password decryption and password encryption. We can create as an exe file, and we can deploy anywhere, and with that we can use outside of the application. We can use exe file. Exe mean uh, executable thing. One second. Executable dynamic link. And the resource are metadata. An assembly manifest contains metadata. Reflections nothing but metadata of object, that is called as a reflection. Reflection. Provide the object type. A reflection. The process is describing the metadata types. Like system.reflection, we can use system.reflection. It is describing the metadata of data types. Like these are the metadata methods. Like if you are creating this, initializing this type, like we can allocate this name and full name and namespace base type to this programming. This is called as a reflection. Next, like resource and metadata as an assembly manifest contains metadata about assembly, include the versions, like culture and dependencies. While global assembly cache is one of another separate topic. Like how the global assembly cache store assembly shared multiple application. Like GAC will store like a multiple application, like application 1 and application 2 and application is there. Like yeah, global assembly cache will stored with the three application with these assemblies. That is called as a global assembly cache. And next and main important is .NET Core and .NET Framework difference and implements. Just now we discussed .NET Core and .NET Framework uh, advantages and disadvantages and improvements, and how the .NET Core .NET will evaluate it with year by year. So in .NET framework we cannot directly create a dependency injection. We cannot directly inject dependency injection. We need to use any third-party tool. But in .NET Core, we have a inbuilt dependency injection is available in .NET Core. That is also one main important in .NET Core and .NET uh, framework. .NET Core is a cross-platform. It can support uh, all the operating system. .NET framework is support only Windows, and the .NET framework is not supported too suitable for developing the cloud application and microservices architectural. .NET Core is support. .NET Core is support microservices architecture, and we can deploy our application into cloud platforms. That is also one main thing. And publishing and hosting, self-containerization versus framework dependent deployment. We can publish and we can host our application, .NET Core application, with the using of um, self-containerization like Docker container. .NET Core, we can use Docker container and Azure Kubernetes container. With this container files, we can publish and we can deploy and we can host our application with like we can host self-hosting our application with the using of .NET Core. And how the like how this processing will happen entirely. I will take some sample console project, and I will create the project structure step by step, and I will deploy in this session only. Like yesterday only we discussed like how the Visual Studio will install, and I am uh, opening the Visual Studio file. Here, this is my Visual Studio 2022, and here I have my recent projects, and here get start. Here with the using of clone repository, we need to uh, we need to take a copy of any repository project, and this is a open project or solution, and this is open local folder. In our local folder, if you wanted to open any specific folder, we can use with this option open project, like previous project or previous solution we can use with this using of this option. This is a create new project. In this, I have selected C Sharp, all platform, all types, console application, Blazor web application, .NET Core web apps. These all are my projects, and I'm selecting as a console for just uh, in like introduction of and how the self deployment and self hosting is happening. And this is here I selected .NET 8.0 like long-term support. .NET 6 is out of support currently. This is .NET 8 recently introduced, and it is standard term support. See here enable container support. Container support we can enable, and we have by default. See this my .NET target framework is 8.0, and here I run the down my program. Hello world as printed with the using of .NET Core sample creation file, and we can self host and we can publish our application with the using of We have this publish written there. With this using of, we can publish our application Azure click once Docker container repository. Like we can deploy our container, and we can deploy our application into IaaS also. I am taking as a Azure. See, Azure Web Joins Windows, Azure Web Joins Linux, Azure Container Registry. I'm selecting as an Azure container. After this, currently right now I don't have uh, like a .NET sorry, Azure subscription, so that's the reason this thing is come. Anyway, like I will take a Azure subscription for free. If my free trial is completed as Azure subscription, so I will take another Azure subscription, and in that I will completely explain like how the application will deploy in Azure and how this containerization containers and resource groups and Azure functions will create in Azure CIC Azure platform. After that, like how the infrastructures will maintain and what is the Terraform and how the CI/CD pipelines will work in Azure and how the pipelines will create in Azure. So these all topics will cover in Azure Zero to Hero series. And now we are in .NET Zero to Hero series, right? So we need to like build a cross-platform. Like we are just now, I builded a cross-platform. We can host that console application in any of OS, and we can publish. Just now we saw publish and hosting also. Like if I opened uh, my Google Chrome of Azure. See, this is an marketplace, like on Azure marketplace, and here see web app. I can deploy my web app with the using of. So here I don't have uh, subscription, so that's the reason it came like this. But app services, I can deploy my web app service with the using of app service. So this process will explain in Azure Zero to Hero series, and next we will go into our topic. This is I hope like CLR diagram, we covered CLR, like how the CLR will work, and we covered how the garbage collectors works and what are the generations of garbage collector. This is all of day one plan of .NET framework and .NET Core, and in the day two we created a one project along with this all all the things, like we covered like basics of .NET, and in this CLR and this memory management is important, and global assembly cache also important. The reflection also we discussed. This is also important for interview perspective, and this is anyway without these three questions the interview won't in the interview session. And in .NET CLI we have a commands, like in if I am in my command prompt .NET by using of my CLI .NET CLI, see developer PowerShell. We can, with the using of command line interface, we can execute like we can build our .NET application. We can run and we can deploy with the using of .NET CLI. This is day one. I think hope you all know this concept. Like after this watching this video, and if you have any doubts in the day one session, please feel free to reach me. And if you want any, if I missed any important topic in day one, like along with this, so please comment in this video along with video, like then I will try to explain that we missed topics, and for with along with the diagrams and with practical example. Thank you all. If you like this channel, please subscribe and like this video. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye bye. This is once again, this is KR7 Tech.